Hi, Pep. You always speak about kind of this time of the season, how you arrive, sort of February, latter stages, Champions League. You're obviously competing for all 4 trophies at the moment. Are you confident with this squad? I know it's a new squad. Are you confident that you will still be there at the end of the season, say in the title race, or could it still fall away because they're a little bit more inexperienced, this group?
If we are fit, all the squad, like we didn't have last season, and we didn't have this season for many months, in knockout stage, I don't know what happened because sometimes it's a coin, but in the rest of the competition, we can be there. As much we are fit, we have a players. Otherwise, playing every 3 days, 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, with a few players, you cannot compete for competitions.
And you said before Arsenal played, let's see what happens after this game. So they dropped 2 points yesterday evening. Are you not happy, but 4 points, that it must give you encouragement you can sort of really go for it?
I would prefer to be in the position Arsenal than in our position. I would prefer. If I would be in the position, the 4 points in front for the 20 games left, I will not be relaxed. Imagine being 4 points behind. I'm less relaxed. So still, I'll prefer to be in position Arsenal than I am. Oh, we are.
Hi, Pep. Have you decided how many days off the players will be allowed?
3.
Because it could possibly be the last 3 midweek between now and the end of the season.
After Newcastle, always will have a long week. Yeah, but hopefully it can be the last one, the last 2. But yeah, after Saturday tomorrow until Wednesday afternoon, everybody at home.
And you've always treated the cup competitions with a lot of respect with the teams that you've picked. Have you, when you've been in this position before, have you found that staying in these competitions until the end of the season has helped the general running? Because I suppose the flip side of that is that you're going to have to play a lot more games, a lot more load on the players. But would you say that there's more of a benefit of having the players play really competitive games week in, week out, rather than a week in between, perhaps?
From my experience in 1 decade here, November, December, January, February in England is so tough in the Premier League, so tough. When you arrive in March, you are in competition, the sky is more blue. In that moment, it depends how many players you are available. You cannot, in March and April, where you are not every single. So even with that, we can be all the squad, or more or less 1 or 2 inches, it's normal, but not 7, 8, 9 players, you cannot do that. But in that position we have in a knockout stage, even being fit, everyone, you can be out. Yeah, of course. But you can compete. It's only I asked last season and this season. I was desperate to have my team back. And as much you have players, and Jeremy come back, and Cyber come back, and John come back, and Kova is already, start to be on the pitch training. When everybody can have, and after that, because every 3 days, 4 days in March, after being 6, 7 months playing, you need fresh here and in the legs, and when you happen after you can compete better.
Perhaps since you came here, a lot of the academy players that have been knocking on the door of the first team have stayed with you rather than go on loan. Look at sort of Phil Foden, Rico Lewis, Nico O'Reilly. With Divine, Macassar and Steph Mafuni leaving to go on loan, is that sort of a change for you at all?
No, it's just a change. They can learn to compete better than compete here with the second team, like play, I said many times, without not competition. So that is the only reason. I would like to have Divine here and Stefan, of course, but it's good for them to grow up. And the other players that were loan, I would like to have, I sometimes cannot because they have a, when you have Riyad in front of Bernardo's or Raheem's or Leroy's or the other one, sometimes, and everybody fits, sometimes it's a question of space. But I love to have players stay here with me or with us instead to be sell or be loan.
And Sfera Naipan has come back on loan to...
Sorry?
Sfera Naipan has come back to train with the first team. Is he in contention to play at all tomorrow? What have you made of him in training?
We will decide today. It's in the first team. I have to think about it. I don't want to be disconnected team. I don't want to... I learned for the time when you play this type of competition, the Premier League or Carabao Cup or FA Cup, when you make a lot of things, you pretend, this competition is not important or whatever in a League 2, and I don't like that. I want to be everybody still focus.
So, hi, Pep. You talked about Kovacic being back in training. How useful do you think he could be to this team, especially with the way that, it's all man-to-man and you need to get past people under pressure? He must have been a real loss to not have him for the last 6 months.
Absolutely. Completely agree. Absolutely. I miss him a lot because his ability, in the short passes. When I remember last seasons when we played without proper wingers, like your colleague said, we played with a lot of players inside with Bernardo, Rodri, him. This connection, the three with Jeremy's or Fields or whatever, that was a magnificent how they had the ability to break these one-against-ones, dribble the opponent and attack the next line. And Kova, I already miss him a lot, but last game he played was in Fulham, I think so, before the World Cup, to try to make a surgery, you know, to be that season fit, and unfortunately it was not well. And now I spoke with him the last days and said he feels really, really good comparing between the first surgery and the second. And yeah, hopefully can help us in the last part of the season.
How long do you think it'll take for him to be at his best? Because obviously with Rodri, that's an ongoing thing, but he's been out for ages as well.
I think to have continuity, game, 3 days, will take time. As much you can have one day, one game, minutes, or one game in the beginning after recover and another one. As much you can select good minutes. Kovacic is a special player, special quality, mentality. Another player on the bigger stages is so brave, so good. Yeah, first for his health, you know, for his life to play football again. That is what we want. But yeah, Kova is an important player that we miss him. We miss him a lot.
Pep, you said that you were going to give the players 3 days off next week. How important will that be, in your experience, giving players off this time of the year?
Yeah. We are, when we give 4 days between games, we are another team. We're 3 days. We arrive, especially with a lot of injuries, almost unsustainable. Last season was a big example of that. But it's important to be fresh in your mind. I learned in this country when you can give day off, they get day off. But the schedule is so tight, and that's why people can travel with the families, different environment. Just change a little bit. They come back after with 3 days prepare Newcastle game and after Leeds. I think will be good for us. That doesn't mean when we go we play disaster and maybe we lose the pipe that we have right now. Maybe I don't know, but I think everybody need it. Staff, backroom staff, everyone clean the minds. Have been so demanding. Always it is, especially with a lot of injuries that we had in November, December. So it's really important to have this. That's why I was so happy to qualify for the Champions League, the first 8. That's the main target, but especially to have this last 2 weeks like a little bit, we can breathe a little bit and don't see each other. We are tired to see each other.
Have you got any plans yourself for your time off?
Sorry?
Have you got any plans for yourself, going away anywhere? Golfing?
Listen, I get day off for me. For me. Of course I have plans.
Pep, following on from Ben's question, as a manager, is part of your job to get different cultures, and is it difficult to get these different people from different cultures and countries in your dressing room to all kind of work together? And does the dressing room benefit from the different?
Absolutely.
In what way?
And how nice it is. How nice it is. So I have incredible Christian people and other people are completely Muslim, and they love each other, they respect each other, they do the work each other. What is the problem? The problem is created for the bosses and the president. So you have to rely on them. We are in trouble. So we have to, the civilization we have to do ourselves. We have to rely for the guys. They said what you have to do, the wars we have to fight. Problems, big problems.
Could I just ask Phil Foden as well? He was in your team for a very long time, and then it was after the Bodo game, he was on the bench a little bit. Has he had to kind of earn his way back into your team?
I said many times, I don't have zero doubts, but zero about the Phil. You have to recover, make himself good, and just focus and play football and go to fish. I love fishing, and that's when he is that. Phil is back and will be back. It's not 20 centuries ago like was the best player in the Premier League. It was around the corner. Yeah, it was not much seasons ago. So this is Phil Foden. So just to be relaxing his mind, the joy and smile and happiness and play and play and play. He will play every day. Not all the players, me neither. I don't like to play every single 3 days. He will play football every day. And when you have this gift, so it just to be, relax and do it.
Last one again, thank you.
Pep, I was with Carl Robinson earlier this week, the manager of tomorrow's was, and he was saying great things about you. He said that too often managers who come from foreign countries essentially don't respect what the FA Cup means to this country. He says that the FA Cup is part of our heritage. Yeah. Is that something you feel?
Absolutely. I prefer to play at home. But one of the most enjoyable remembers that I will have in this country when I play FA Cup away. In the League Ones or League Twos, and never miss that. Always we were incredible. That experience there, when you arrive in the stadium with a coach and all the fans, who are you? So, God, these kind of things and the vibes and the long balls and the other things. Honestly, I promise you, will be one of the memories I will take for the rest of my life. I love FA Cup. I love it. It was a part when I was a boy. But I prefer to play against Salford at home.
Well, of course.
I don't want to travel today against. Salford is. My apartment is in Salford, so we will not travel. But you understand what I mean.
Yeah,
so I prefer to play at home. But the away games in FA Cup is top.
And just finally on this, do you really see, like Carl, the fact that the FA Cup isn't so much romance as part of the British football, the English football life?
Yeah. I think after 10 years, I don't like few things in this country, for the way. But I'm not here to change it. But there are a lot of things I love, and this is one of the one. I remember all Wembley. When we won as a football player, the first Champions League, 92 with Barcelona. This is, stadium. I remember the managers walking a long way, with the players and this country, how respect the traditions is no other country can do that. Always we get rid of, when we have for many years in other countries, you have in mind that, no, it doesn't matter, it's old. This combination for the new things, but respect the old things, I love UK for that. I love it.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.